Hey, good morning. It is Tuesday here. It's a cold,
Yes,
cold,
it is.
windy, blustery. At least it's not currently snowing, Ben. I guess it could be worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cold day. It's a cold Tuesday. It's been a cold. It's not. I was gonna say it's been a cold winter. It's not even winter yet, and I'm sitting here. I'm already tired of winter. Whatever. Anyway, welcome to the sports show with no name. I'm your host. I'm Chad Bryan. With me, as always, is my buddy Ben Bales. Ben, what's going on, man?
Nothing much.
Just hanging out, huh?
Football's football's starting to wind down,
Yeah.
Um, you got basketball just, heating up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tough to get into basketball this year. The Cavs haven't looked great.
The Cavs, here's my thoughts on the Cavs, right?
Are they
Like
just bored with the regular season, do you think?
I I don't know if they're bored of the regular season, but with sports, when you're dealing with injuries, it's hard on everybody because you're not playing with the same guys every night. You're not,
Yeah.
you got to change up the way you play. You got to change up who you're playing with. And when the Cavs have when the Cavs have a different injury every single night, it's hard to be consistent. Like, yeah, obviously, Donovan Mitchell's Donovan Mitchell. He's going to get you, 30 a night if you need him to. But the thing that I like about Donovan Mitchell is I don't know if you watched the Hornets game or saw the stats. Donovan Mitchell was 6 of 24 from the field.
Okay.
After the game, he goes,
Right.
I know it's a team game. He goes, but this one's on me. He goes, if I'm half of myself, he goes, we win this basketball game.
Mm.
And when a team is struggling, you want a superstar to take accountability. And
Yeah.
even though it is a team sport, but and he still had 17 points, but like I said, he was six of 24 from the field. If you
Yeah.
think about it, right? If he makes two of those shots, if he makes three more of those shots, Cavs win that game.
Well, and accountability is great, but I also want him to do it, right? Like we need him to hit those shots.
No,
I
I
mean,
agree.
he's the superstar, right? He's got to be the guy that hits those shots.
And
Um,
that's what just makes what LeBron's done for so long so incredible. Is like you knew
yeah.
for 22 years that he was going to go out there and he was going to get you 20 a night and be pretty efficient doing it. And that just shows you that even these other superstars have off nights. Like Donovan Mitchell was 6 of 24. There's been nights when, Luka's 6 of 21 from the field. And you're like, how did LeBron do this for so long and was so good at it? And it's
It,
like
yeah.
it just shows you his longevity and how good he really was at the peak of his career.
It's insane. And I mean, no one's had a longer peak as far
No.
as NBA careers. I mean, I
Eh,
just being in top physical shape for so long and being so dominant in a game that is hard on your body. I mean, playing on hardwood is tough. I mean, it's tough
yeah.
on your knees, your back, especially when you're 6'9".
And
It's not easy, right?
it's not. It's and like we've talked about too, like the fact that like LeBron's never really had like yeah, he's played 40 games in a season, 50 games, but he's never had a major injury that's kept him out for a full season. Like he's always been pretty durable and he's always played through those injuries. Like
Yeah,
that one year he had that groin injury and he played through a groin injury that every other player sits out for to
yeah,
try and drag the Lakers to the playoffs.
yeah.
And it's like,
And to use the recent stuff against him as far as injuries, that's crazy. I mean, come on, he's
yeah,
played
the
for
dude's
22 years
43
or
years
whatever.
old.
Like, yeah, let's go.
Like,
That's
and
insane.
the thing is too, it's like, you know, if I were the Lakers, right? Like, I'd rather LeBron be hurt at the beginning of the season and be healthy at the end of the season, especially if you're trying to win a championship.
Yeah,
Like, I'd rather him have sciatica at the beginning of the season and miss the first, 18 games and be good for the last half of the season.
that's better than dealing with all of AD's stuff. I mean, when he was
Yeah,
injured, it was like it just was so sporadic and hit or miss. He was in, he was out.
yeah.
He'd play for 4 games, he'd be out for 30 games. It was just, it was tough. And
It just,
yeah,
but
you haven't had that with LeBron his entire career. It's like
yeah, it's like
so
there was
durable.
there was one, I forget who it was, but it was one coach. It might have been Spolstra. Spolstra goes, he's like, I knew if LeBron was healthy, he goes, I knew I had a guarantee. He goes, I knew I could pencil in a guaranteed name on my starting five every single night, and that name was LeBron James. He
Yeah,
goes, I knew I could pencil in L. James every single night.
yeah.
He goes, it didn't matter what position I put him at. He goes, I knew I could pencil him in because I knew he'd be there.
It's crazy that he's also athletic enough to have played all 5 positions, on offense and defense. I mean, you see
It,
him go down the low post and make some things
yeah,
happen, and he's defended point guards, he's defended centers. I mean,
I
he's
just,
literally done it all.
I mean, it goes back to what you said about his athleticism. I mean, the dude, like, you look at some centers back in the day, some centers now are only 6'9", but it's because they're so physical.
Yeah.
That they're able to get rebounds, and like you look at LeBron, right? That dude is a dude that big and it's that athletic should not be able to move that fast. That dude is like he's like a guard inside a forward's body.
Yeah,
like,
I mean that chase down block against the Warriors, in the finals that year is just like I think a prime example. I mean, it's like other guys, it would have taken them a reasonable amount of time to get across the floor. LeBron got there in like 7 steps, and
yeah,
just the closing speed was unbelievable. He's clearly just a freak athlete.
I don't know if you've heard the story that I'll tell the story and then we can move on. The story that Richard Jefferson tells about that. He goes, I was on the sideline.
I probably heard. Yeah, I heard it at the time. I'm sure, but refresh my memory.
He's like, I'm on the sidelines, and he goes, I see us, miss that rebound, and then all of a sudden, I just see a black blur fly across my face, and then I just hear a blocked by James. And I'm like, he's like, the heck that come from?
Right. Yeah.
It's just.
I mean, watching it on TV, he came out of nowhere. You didn't even know he was he didn't know he was in the picture. He didn't know he was even a chance. They had a chance to make that play.
And Andre Iguodala said, even with how loud that arena was, he said it's the loudest block he's ever heard in his life.
Yeah, I bet.
And you talk about a guy that single-handedly carried a team to just to a win. You could tell even just after that block how much the finals meant to him in Cleveland.
Right.
Even after his reaction where he drops to the knees, but how many guys are really going to go that hard for a championship? I mean, if he makes it, you still got a chance to tie it. But LeBron knew that if they made it, they probably weren't going to have a chance to score.
They were in big trouble. Yeah, if they just a simple dunk there, probably it was probably the dagger there.
LeBron.
The people who say that Kyrie is responsible for that championship because he hit the 3 are wild to me. Do you just seriously ignore all the contributions up until that point?
But
it can be both of them. I mean, it can be both things.
They're both going to be Cleveland legends forever because of the block. If LeBron doesn't block that, Kyrie. Here's the way I look at it, right? If LeBron doesn't block that shot, Kyrie doesn't get the chance to hit the shot.
For sure. And I don't care that they left. Listen, guys leave. I mean, that's what happens.
Professional sports.
Kyrie didn't maybe do it the best of ways when he left. Whatever. I think a lot of people I think that'll die down over time, but maybe not because you know how it is in Cleveland when guys leave. I mean, they haven't forgiven Jim Thome.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know.
One last thing though about that block is I don't know if you've seen LeBron talk about it on his podcast. He would tell people, he goes, if you see me coming, he goes, delay the person for half a second to allow me to get into position. And if you watch that layup, Andre Iguodala is going up with his right hand, and JR jumps and makes him reverse in double clutch, and it gives LeBron time to block it.
There you go.
And LeBron's always told his teammates, he goes, if you see me coming, he goes, give me just a half a second, and he goes, I'll make up for it.
Well, he got it, and he did.
And that's the thing, too, is like you said, LeBron's been so underrated at defense. He's never been great at defense, but he's been, when you need him to get a stop, he can get you a stop.
Yeah. Well, I think only so much of your energy can go into a game, right? You can't go out there and put up, 30 or 35 and 15 and 8 or 9 a night, and then also play, every single play at the top of your game on defense. I mean, he's a good defender, but I don't know. And then you say Jordan did that. I mean, Jordan was a multiple time, first team all defense.
But back then, though, defense was more valued than it is today. Today, it's you want guys that can score, 40 a night on 52% shooting. Back then, that's how you got into the league was if you could play defense and stop somebody, hey, you're guarding him for 48 minutes tonight.
Yeah, true.
Nowadays, it's, hey, if you can score, you're going to go against your best player and you're going to score 48 on him. Good luck.
If you can score, you're getting $40 million a year no matter what. Yeah. Hey, listen, we have a pretty good show. I don't know how we started on LeBron. That was fun. Whatever. I always like to talk about LeBron.
It's always good to talk about LeBron.
Whatever, right? Top 3 player of all time. Can't argue that. I want to talk to you a little bit, Ben. Let's start with, I guess we'll start with unfortunate news first. We're going to talk about whatever in the world is going on in Ann Arbor or was going on in Ann Arbor. I guess it's over now, at least as far as that chapter. I mean, there's still more to come. We're going to find out more. But yeah, Sherrone Moore, man.
It's crazy. It's
at first it was funny to me before I realized how serious it was. You want to make all the Ohio State, Michigan jokes, and then I do want to stress, listen, we don't. You never want to see a guy struggle like that, right? You just don't want to see that. Obviously, decisions were made, and better decisions could have been made, right, to prevent a lot of this. So it's not like this is something that solely happened to him and he had no control over this. I mean, these were his decisions, and obviously, I clearly made some very, very terrible decisions. But yeah, I mean, to see him
It
just that arraignment video, Ben, was wild. It was like you could read all the articles, you could see all the posts or whatever, you see the pictures, whatever. But then like that arraignment video made it real for me, right? Like that
yeah.
hammered it home. Like, this is really happening. Like this
I was gonna
man really did something unprecedented. I mean, we've seen some crash outs in college
yeah.
football. We've seen some coaches have some pretty bad crash outs here and there, right? But I mean, we haven't seen anything quite like this. I mean,
No.
this is one of a kind, right?
Yeah. I was gonna ask you. I asked my dad this though, right? If if Michigan beats Ohio State,
Just knocked everything over. Don't worry,
if
it's fine.
Michigan beats Ohio State, does this stuff ever come out? Does this ever happen?
Uh,
Like,
Probably. I think it was too big to contain.
but 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 like my dad said, why do you hear about it though right after he loses to Ohio State?
Well, it's the timing. It's after signing day, really.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying like it. Like my dad said, it's easier to keep it under the rug if you beat Ohio State.
Maybe I don't think they were very happy with the development of Bryce Underwood. I don't think they're very happy at all with the lack of any kind of creativity on offense. I mean, they had two really good running backs all year, and I mean, essentially wasted them.
Yeah,
Sharon Moore just I don't think internally it doesn't sound like a lot of people were sold on Moore.
I don't think
And
they
then as
were.
we found out more, I mean, listen, the way he found out that things were going down is because they had a coaches meeting and didn't include him, right?
Yeah,
So I don't know what was known. I don't know what had been said by whom at that point. Um,
but
but the
it's
way that he found out that things were even afoot was that there was a coaches meeting that didn't involve him. So I think he
yeah,
started, kind of asking some questions and probably knocking on some doors, making some phone calls, whatever, and came across some information he clearly didn't like. I don't know. I think that the whole. I think honestly, I think they planned on getting rid of him. I think they just wanted to wait until after National Signing Day, which is
kind of scummy, but
yeah, it's not great. I mean,
um,
you look at Ohio State, the complete opposite, where they informed everybody in the signing class that Brian Hartline was leaving, whether they played defense or were recruited by Hartline or not.
and I
I don't
think I think that just goes to show you that there's levels too, because everybody was expecting Chris Henry, to sign right away,
know. Mhm.
and then when Brian Hartline, got the USF job, he's like, hold on, he's like, wait a second, he's like, I'm gonna take a second here, make a decision. He goes, make sure it's the right decision. And
Yeah.
then even when he decided to sign with Ohio State, right? Like I kept telling all my friends, right? It's does he value the culture at Ohio State or does he value Brian Hartline? Because if he
Yeah.
values Brian Hartline, he's probably going to Oregon or USC.
Yeah.
If he values the culture at Ohio State and the development he can get, he's going to go to Ohio State.
Yeah.
And like Brian Hartline told him when he picked Ohio State, he goes, "Kid, he goes, I know I won't be there." He goes, "But you made the right decision." He goes,
Yeah.
You're still going to get developed." And I've heard rumors too that Brian Hartline is also going to help find the next wide receivers coach at Ohio
Okay.
State. So
Okay.
if Brian Hartline
I think
has the
he's got to
same,
be careful about how thinly he spreads himself, right? Like he also needs to concentrate on the offense. I mean, if he's still coaching,
no, he is, but
they've got the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like he's probably
but
needs to.
I think it's going to be. I think the new wide receivers coach is going to be somebody on the staff. I don't
Okay.
think they're going to. I think they'll hire a coordinator from outside of the team, but I think the
Okay.
new receivers coach will be in the staff because it makes it easier. Like you said, he's got already a lot to focus on.
Familiarity and yeah, everything
Yeah,
else. Yeah.
and
And he's been watching Heartline do things the way he does things.
yeah.
So
There's
what, I
talks.
mean, let me ask you this. No one ever talks about this. What is it? Besides obviously being able to develop guys, but I mean, plenty of coaches can develop guys all across the country. That doesn't mean they're great recruiters, right? What is it about Brian Hartline specifically? Do you think that makes him such a good recruiter? I mean, I know the development's there. It's easy to look at Ohio State and go, well, I mean, it's a wide
I think
receiver
it's.
factory if you're looking at the NFL. But what is it about Hartline that makes him such a good recruiter? I mean, it's just like the personal aspect of it. Do you think?
I think. Well, so over the weekend he was in, or not over the weekend, but a couple weeks ago he was in Tampa Bay
Okay.
for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. I'm assuming this is when he found out he was taking the USF job because
Okay.
the post doesn't correlate to when he accepted the job. But I think he kind of knew that he might be in the running for it because he was in Tampa, and South Florida's near Tampa Bay Buccaneer Stadium,
Hmm.
and he posts a picture with Emeka Buka, and it says family, and all of his kids are like hugging Emeka Buka, and I think that's what makes him so good at recruiting is these kids know that hey, I'm gonna have like another father figure when I go to practice every single day. I'm gonna have a guy that includes me in his family. I'm gonna have
Yeah.
somebody that I can trust, that I can go to with no matter what situation I'm in. And I just think it goes to show you, like, when you're a receivers coach, but you're going out to recruit the top safeties, the top tight
Mhm.
ends, the top quarterbacks, it just shows you that, like you said, not only is he a great coach and great developer, but the dude is one hell of a recruiter, and that's
Yeah.
what scares me about him at USF. If he's going to be good at USF, he's going to start stealing some of the Buckeyes players, and all for it. Like it's football, right? They can go wherever they want, but it
Yeah,
just
I mean, you got to go somewhere. I don't think that anybody who's seriously considering Ohio State would then make that decision to go to USF. But you never
no.
know
But
because
I'm just
Travis
saying,
Hunter also. I mean, Travis Hunter went to James Madison,
yeah,
or not James Madison, but I'm sorry. Why am I James Madison's on my brain because of the playoffs?
Jacksonville State.
Yeah, Jacksonville State.
But
First 5-star. To commit to a historically black college. I mean, that was amazing, right?
it was, and I don't mean like
So-
committing. I don't mean like switching from Ohio State to USF, but I mean like he's going to get these really good or these like borderline 4-stars, that might commit to Ohio State but might not play, or these really really good 3-stars that are thinking, do I go to Ohio State and sit for a couple of years, or do I go to USF and make a name for myself and then transfer?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And being in the heart of Florida, who doesn't want to play football in the heart of Florida? That's like a breeding ground for football.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's something you mentioned that too, making a name for themselves and transferring. I mean, that's something he's going to have to deal with at a lower tier program. I mean, USF is not one of the blue bloods. I mean, I'm not throwing shots.
Like my dad said, right? Like Miami's coach, he goes, if my guys aren't getting recruited and transferring to bigger schools, I'm not doing my job.
Fair.
And
we expect it a little bit. Okay.
Don't get me wrong, USF is bigger than Miami, obviously, but like you said, they're not a blue blood, right? They're not one of your top tier colleges. So if a guy is really really good there, and Alabama comes knocking and be like, hey, we'll pay you $18 million. He's going to be like, see you later.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be tough to turn that down.
But like I told my dad.
Just the mystique of going to Alabama. It still is Bama. I mean, they're in the playoffs somehow. Yeah. Do you think, well, we'll get to the playoffs.
I just want to say one more thing before we move on.
Sure.
I've been telling people for so long, even since he got hired, I've told people Brian Hartline bleeds scarlet and gray.
Yeah.
When Ryan Day decides to hang up the whistle, your next head coach at Ohio State will be Brian Hartline. He needed a head coaching job to be able to prove that he can take the job at Ohio State, right? Very rarely do you see a Power 5 school hire a first-year head coach like Ohio State did with Ryan Day. But when he learns under Urban Meyer for all those years, he's kind of set up for success. Brian Hartline needed this head coaching job to show people, look, I can coach at a Division I level. And I think when Ryan Day finally decides to retire, Brian Hartline is your next head coach at Ohio State.
It's certainly conceivable, right, that he could get fired there because USF, you don't know, right? I mean, I don't think he's going to go there and instantly make them an 11-1, 12-0 playoff contender, anything like that. But he will develop guys, and I think more importantly, he'll develop young men. It seems to be a great guy, right? He's a great human being.
And I just think that he's going to build a great culture there too, because if you look what Ryan Day's done to the culture at Ohio State over the last 3 years, right? Like if you think about it, before they got Chip Kelly, the last year of Ryan Day calling plays, Brian Hartline was the offensive coordinator, but had no say in calling plays. He was still on the sidelines. He was still coaching the receivers, and then Ryan Day's like, hey, we're going to hire Chip Kelly. And Brian Hartline's like, cool, great. I can go back to focusing on receivers and, being the best recruiter in the country.
Right. Just a blue collar guy, right?
And then, he finally gets his chance again to be the offensive coordinator. And he's like, cool. He's like, I'll accept that challenge. And he got absolutely destroyed after that Texas game. Everybody's like, he's not cut out to be an offensive coordinator. He can't do that.
Well, because we all know that all Ohio State fans are 100% reasonable all the time, right?
And then you look at Ohio. The only bad game Ohio State has had with Brian Hartline as offensive coordinator, besides the Texas game, I don't even put that game.
That's your first game of the year with a redshirt freshman as the starting quarterback.
Exactly. The only bad game you had was that Indiana game.
Yeah.
And I know Brian Hartline's going to learn from it, because you look at what Ohio State did last year after they lost to Michigan, right? What did they do to run the football? They started attacking the edges. They started those pitches, those read options. And like I told my dad, right? Julian Saint can move, right? It's going to be like that Georgia game with CJ Stroud. I think when you get to the playoffs, I think there's some wrinkles to this offense that we haven't seen yet. And I think it involves Julian Saint running the football.
People, I think, sometimes get carried away. They're like, "Well, just bring in Lincoln Kienholz to run the football." Well, you can't do that because then when Lincoln Kienholz comes on the field,
Teams know you're running.
everybody on the defense goes, "Okay, it's going to be a quarterback run." Whether
Yeah.
it's a read option or a design run,
Yeah.
a draw, whatever, you can't just bring Kienholz out to run. I mean, that's
No.
I think that's silly. But let's see. I want to get back to the Sherrone Moore thing because I mean, Ben, what happened here? This is a guy who seemingly had it all, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
he's married, had 3 kids, had one of the best coaching jobs in the country.
yeah, and obviously you feel for his family. It's just terrible right before Christmas to have to not only have this kind of thing happen, but publicly, right? Like now you're in the public eye. I mean, it is what it is, and obviously through no fault of their own, their lives are blown up. And I mean, that makes me feel terrible. I mean, thinking about as a father myself, I mean, that's an awful situation,
Yeah.
as a husband and a father. These are things that you don't do, right?
Yeah.
Like you make better
Especially
decisions than this.
especially with a 25-year-old that's your assistant. Like,
I mean,
it
everything about this was wrong.
so
And people really, and a lot of people are out there like, hey, well, I don't understand what he did wrong. Like, what's the problem? Really? Like, basic right from wrong, man. I mean,
Like-
it's just whatever. What
so
happened?
let me ask you this. Who do you think Michigan hires as their next head football coach?
Oh, I have no idea. I mean, a lot of people I think are on the mark when they say that they really could consider John Harbaugh. I mean, I could see the Ravens letting Harbaugh go. And somehow Ward Manuel still has a job as an athletic director.
I don't know how.
I don't understand. This is the definition of
the NCAA
hold on, stop. This is the literal definition of lack of institutional control now, right? Like this is 3 major scandals in what, 3 calendar years? I mean, how can you still be the athletic director there? And then also you can move to basketball. I mean, you had the whole thing with it's just I don't know, Ben.
I mean,
don't know.
Their athletic department's getting investigated too by the NCAA. I don't know if you saw that or not.
I did. Well, they're also conducting an internal investigation in
Yeah.
all this, which we all know what that's going to turn up.
Nothing.
Come on, nothing. I mean, come on. It's a mess. And I'm not saying that other programs. I'm not saying that Ohio State hasn't done things wrong in the past. I'm not saying that Michigan is the only program that does anything right, but this is crazy, right? Like this is,
like you said, it's 3 of the biggest scandals in what, 3 years?
I mean, and they're not the same thing. So I guess on a technicality, you can get by with saying, well, it's not lack of institutional control because we haven't had the same problem twice. But I mean, the optics are terrible. I mean, what is really going on inside this athletic department?
I think what makes the whole Sherrone Moore thing so bad, though, is the fact that not only did he get fired and, was caught, with his 25-year-old assistant, but then he breaks into that girl's house
and
threatens to kill himself and her.
Awful. I mean, just awful. Like, it's just an awful situation. Like I said, it's not entertaining at all. You don't want to sit here and watch someone struggle with their mental health. It's sad, I mean, you look at it and like I said, better decisions could have been made, obviously. Sure. But yeah, it's whatever. Sad development. I don't know. There's really not much else to say. He's been arraigned, formal charges. You can Google all that and look it up. I don't want to get into all that stuff. Let's actually move on from one kind of a really, really, really bonehead decision to a maybe more minor bonehead decision. So after the Heisman Trophy presentation ceremony, one of the finalists apparently was not happy with some of the voters. So our guy, not our guy, just not our guy, not my guy, but Diego Pavia, right, Vanderbilt quarterback, went on social media and aired out his thoughts, and maybe not the most safe for work way. I'll paraphrase. He said, "F the voters," blah blah blah. He basically felt like his second place finish was unwarranted. Like he maybe should have won the Heisman. I get it. You're a competitor, and maybe your whole life you've maybe your lifeblood is I don't know, having a chip on your shoulder, right? And wearing your emotions on your sleeves. But I think sometimes you have to stuff that down and you have to just do the right thing and congratulate the winner and move on, right? Like that was weird, right? Wasn't that a weird reaction? I get the apology, whatever, just spur of the moment. He's a young kid.
It was.
He's got to have people in his corner that can talk him out of things like this. He's got to know better than this, right, Ben?
He does, and it's like my dad said too. Like he probably just ruined any chance he has of getting drafted.
Yeah, I don't think he had much of a chance before. Yeah.
No, but like my dad said too, right? Like, you look at the whole Shedeur situation, right? Supposedly he wasn't good in interviews, but now you list every single one of his interviews. His interviews are great, right? He handles himself professionally. He
Yeah.
answers the questions. You know, he like
So it either wasn't a problem before, or he learned immensely from that.
yeah. And but who's going to want to take a chance on a guy that, you know, oh, if he's not playing, what are the chances that he's going to blast us on social media
Yeah.
and like,
You could tear down a franchise from the inside out. I mean,
Yep.
really, you know, especially if you gain some popularity in that city or whatever, it can be really, really bad news. So yeah, I agree with you. I don't think he had much of a chance before. I think undrafted free agent at best.
yeah,
I don't think
maybe
anybody.
a
Well,
late
you never
seventh
know.
rounder.
Listen, the Browns have a 3rd round pick, so you never know what they'll do. But yeah,
I
I
think
don't
the
know. I
Browns
mean,
should
they
just
can trade
draft
up to
like
get
7 quarterbacks. I think
probably.
their whole
That would
draft
be-
should just be quarterbacks.
Listen, do you not think that Shador Sanders has shown flashes of things starting to slow down a little bit in Cleveland, or no?
Here's what I told here's what me and my dad talked about, right? Like you look at these last 3 Shador Sanders starts. The Chicago one wasn't great,
Mhm.
but
It wasn't.
it's
But he also made some really nice throws. That throw to Judy that got picked in the end zone, that was a nice throw. That was a
It
nice
was.
back shoulder throw. It hit Judy in the chest.
and
Should've
like I
been
told my dad, right? Like you look at how their offense was under Dylan Gabriel. What was it? A lot of 5-yard little check downs and, you know, little like quick outs and slants. And
Yeah.
you look at what Shador Sanders is doing. Shador Sanders is taking deep shots, whether if it's not the play that's called and he's just going through his progressions and finding a guy that's deep down the field wide open, or whether they're calling these deep shots.
Or not even
Browns
wide open. I mean, he's throwing into tight windows. Like
Yeah.
he's putting the ball on the
The
money.
Browns are- The Browns are throwing the ball down the field with Shador Sanders. And
Yeah.
as a team, if you're throwing the ball down the field, it forces those safeties to back up. And then when they back up, oh, I can turn around and hand the ball off to Quinshawn Junkins, who's just going to
Yeah,
run
all of a
it
sudden
6
life
yards.
gets a little bit easier for an offensive line that's really banged up. Yeah, for sure.
And he's definitely shown glimpses. And like I've told people, every loss he's had has not been on. Don't get me wrong. Yes, the 3 interceptions is bad, right? But
Yeah.
when he has the wrong play sheet on his arm, that's not his fault, right? Like,
Well, the reasoning from Stefanski yesterday, he said that one of the cards fell out, and they didn't know that until they went on the field. He didn't have that card, so he was leafing through, so he had to go. Whatever. There have been 2 different answers. I don't know, Ben. There's 2 different answers with everything that you get from Kevin Stefanski. It's really weird. Listen, I don't know if you pay attention. You're a Steelers fan. I know you guys are sick of 10-7 in the playoffs. Whatever. That's fine. But yeah, everything with Stefanski is very like it feels very much like he's checked out to me.
Like my dad said, he tries to answer
Maybe
like
I'm wrong.
he's Bill Belichick,
Yeah.
but he's not. But he's not. He's not good. Like when he
It's not
says,
going
"Oh,
well.
every single press conference, he says, oh, well, we just have to be better." Well, yeah, no, you've been
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that for the last 4 years.
Right. That's right along the accountability issue. Like, okay, that's great. Taking accountability is great. Saying it's my fault is great. But doing something about it and fixing it is better, right? Like you can recognize the fault and you can take the fault, and that's fantastic. That's fine. At least he's not blaming his players. Listen, he'd probably be gone if he was. But listen, when you have to take that next step, right? Like you actually have to fix the problem and be better. You can't just say we have to be better over and over without ever being better. But I think Shador Sanders gives the Browns the best chance at a starting quarterback in the future. I don't necessarily think that they have to rush up into the top 2 or 3 to go grab a quarterback like maybe Fernando Mendoza, who actually did win the Heisman. By the way, congratulations to Fernando Mendoza, and congratulations to Indiana University, by the way, for beating the Buckeyes in the Big Ten championship. I mean, I didn't get to watch a lot of the game. I was busy. I was on the road. I was working a little bit. But they did a nice job. I mean, they shut the Buckeyes offense down. I've seen some people saying that Ohio State lost on purpose. It's weird to me. I don't think they did that. But listen, Indiana's a good football team. I think they're a little bit better than maybe I've given them credit for this year. Ben, they're 13-0. They're number 1 in the nation. I mean, they're a really good football team. Either way, Mendoza's the Heisman winner. Pavia finished 2nd. I should say Jeremiah Love, running back from Notre Dame, finished 3rd. A lot of people thought that he was like the shoe-in guy to win it. He felt at a lot of times like the best player in the nation. And then Julian Sayin finished 4th.
Going back to what you said about the Browns not having to, like force their way into, the top 2 or 3. What I told my dad, right, is if I'm the Browns and you really like what you've seen from Shador Sanders, what is stopping the Browns from going to a team and saying, hey, we'll give you our 2 first-round picks for your star receiver?
Yeah.
What have the Browns needed for years? A star receiver. You got Jerry Jeudy, who is super.
I'll tell you what they need more, though, Ben. They need to completely retool the offensive line.
They do.
I mean,
But or even if you go out and do that, what if you go to a team and say, hey, we'll give you. What if they go to Eagles, right? Say, hey, we'll give you 2 first-round picks for, like Lane Johnson or something. Obviously, it's not the Eagles won't accept that, but you get
Yeah.
you get my point. Like
Yeah.
the Browns have all the capital in the world to
Well,
rebuild their
and listen,
team.
maybe this is the reason they should have explored moving Myles Garrett at the trade deadline, right? Like, I
But now
get it.
Myles Garrett's having one of the best seasons in NFL history.
Sure, he is, and that's fine. And where has it gotten the Browns?
I agree.
They're going to finish 3-14. He's going to break the sack record, and the Browns are still going to be 3-14.
I agree with you.
I don't know.
It's one of those things where, like you said, think about this, right? Like you said, if the Browns would have traded Garrett at the deadline, the Browns could have had 3 first-round picks this year.
Yeah.
And you know how hard it is to miss on 3 first-round picks, let alone in one draft?
Really, yeah. And especially, listen, you have to give Andrew Berry credit for his last draft. Obviously, it went really well. I mean, I don't know what they did with the quarterbacks. It was confusing to go get Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round when I think most people thought he was a 6th, 7th round guy, if not an undrafted free agent.
6, 7.
6, 7, right? Hey, there you go. Kids. This is shows for the kids. But yeah, listen, Mason Graham, Carson Schlesinger, Quinshawn Judkins. I mean, on a lot of these draft picks, you can't fault him there.
So, Carson Schlesinger was a dog. That dude is good.
Absolutely. He's an AFC North guy. He's a really, really good pick by the Browns. And then, as a Browns fan, it concerns you, can they keep him, right? Like when that rookie contract is up, can they re-sign him? What's the salary cap look like? Obviously, Deshaun Watson's huge, enormous, stupid contract will be off the books by then. But, they're going to be into the books pretty deep for some offensive linemen. They're going to have to do something. That offensive line they've got 5 subway turnstiles right now. They can't block anybody.
Speaking of not being able to block anybody, so the Steelers' starting left tackle going into the Browns week is a guy that was a quarterback in college.
Okay.
Never played a single down of football in the NFL and started his first game last night.
All right. Well, introduce Myles Garrett immediately.
He didn't give up a pressure, though. So,
okay.
But, hey, you're going to get Myles Garrett next week. You better not give up 3 sacks, buddy.
Hey, well, if he does, Myles Garrett will have the record. Yeah. Did you see they took a half a sack away, by the way, from Myles Garrett after the game on Sunday?
Did they?
Yeah, they did. I think.
So they didn't give him that half a sack?
They did not. No, he ended up. Yeah.
Yes.
No,
yes. Yes.
Oh, whatever. Pining for your guy TJ Watt. Get out of here. No, yeah, they ended up taking some. You know how the NFL is. I think they're embarrassed by the Strahan sack on fire from back in the day. It's bad optics, and they don't want to.
Speaking of TJ Watt, though, prayers go out to him.
Yeah, of course.
What he's going through is it. I've heard multiple things. I've heard that he could not be back this season. He could be back in a couple weeks.
Man.
But I mean, anything with a punctured lung, collapsed lung, anything with your lung is scary because that literally that's what helps you breathe is your lung. Like when Tyrod Taylor had a punctured lung, it took him 4 weeks to recover, and his didn't require surgery, and TJ's did. So
yeah, I mean, listen, TJ Watt's a tough guy. We know that, but I mean, your health, especially, and not just like your physical, like, but your actual like being alive health.
Yeah,
that comes first. You know what I mean? Yeah. So obviously, good thoughts go out to him. We want him.
I told my dad, I said, if he doesn't return this year, I wouldn't be surprised in the offseason. He just says, "I'm done." Calls it a career.
Yeah, maybe. Especially with something like that, like coming off the heels of something like that, like that's, like I said, that's like one of those like, life-changing moments, right? Like that you look at yourself, like, okay, I'm very not invincible, right? Like I am not untouchable. I mean, this happened, and it's really bad.
The fact that he was doing dry needling too, which every athlete does.
Yeah,
I don't know why they still do it after the NFL's had 2 in the last 5 years.
Well, but when you look at that, I mean, 2 in the how many? Like you said, everybody's doing it. Maybe that's actually a really, really low rate, but still, it's a bad result.
It is, and it's one of those things too. And it's like there's got to be other ways that you can do the same treatment without risking puncturing a lung.
You would think. Yeah,
because like, how far does that needle go in that it reaches your lung? Like,
apparently far enough. I mean, it sounds bad. It sounds really painful. I think I'd rather just deal with the back pain or the rib pain or whatever it is. I think going forward, I think I'd just rather deal with some soreness there. But whatever.
No, but prayers out to TJ Watt, his whole family. That's a scary, scary injury. I don't care if he doesn't come back this year. I just, like you said, I care more about his health as a sports fan. I don't want anybody getting hurt. I care more about his health. He's got a little girl at home that he needs to take care of, and I'm sure I'd rather him go take care of her than going out and risking his life on the football field. So
yeah, absolutely, it's bigger than football. You just want him to be okay. So
that's what Myles Garrett
absolutely
said. Myles Garrett's like, he's like, prayers up to him. He goes, I reached out to him, just telling him, giving him my condolences, my prayers, and like you said, it's bigger than football at that point. Like when somebody goes down like that,
For sure.
it's not about it's a rivalry. It's all about like everybody's here with you.
Yeah, for sure. Let's get back to the Heisman thing real quick before we move on. I just did you think Fernando Mendoza put up the stats that like separated him that much from everybody else? I mean, I didn't think that it was that
No.
clear cut. I mean, I was looking at I get it. Pavia had all the rushing yards and the rushing touchdowns. That's cool. Jeremiah Love went for over 1,300 yards, almost 20 touchdowns on the ground. That's amazing. 21 total touchdowns for Love at Notre Dame, which by the way, we'll get to the playoffs in just a minute, but I think maybe Notre Dame should have been in over Alabama, but that's just my opinion.
When Julian Sand had more yards, I mean, I get it's not all just yards. This is the first year in a long time where the Heisman has been the best player on the best team. Because, like, if you think about it, right? Like, Travis Hunter won the Heisman. Colorado was not the best team.
No.
And you look at some of the most recent Heismans, the Heisman Trophy for a long time hasn't been the best player on the best team. It's just been the best player.
Yeah.
And the best player stat.
I think that's how little separation there was really between these guys when you look at their stats. I mean,
and if that's what it takes for the best player on the best team to win the Heisman, then they need to redo the voting because, like somebody said, Johnny Manziel had more rushing yards than Jeremiah Love did, and Jeremiah Love finished third and everybody said he was the consensus #1 Heisman favorite.
Yeah.
Like, how does that make sense that a quarterback has more rush yards and I get it. It's hard to change the voting because there's already been so many done with this voting system. But like I said, this is the first year that it truly seems like the Heisman Trophy has gone to the best player on the best team.
Right.
And I don't know. I mean, hey, props to him though. The shot that dude took from Caden Curry to begin that game, I was like,
I thought he was out for the game, and I was disappointed.
Too.
I mean, there was no part of me that was happy about that.
Me neither.
Like I saw that, and I'm like, man, like you obviously like to see your defense getting after a guy. It was a good clean hit. There was nothing wrong with it. But then when he didn't get back up, it was like, oh no.
Yeah, you're
like
oh no.
I don't want to see. This is like a Heisman hopeful. I want to see both of these teams full strength going at each other. And it was a fun night. Like I said, I didn't get to watch the entire game. But I watched most of the first half, and it was a struggle for Ohio State. And that's okay. Listen, no excuses need to be made. Indiana just outplayed them. Curt Cignetti, I don't know, maybe outcoached Ryan Day. I don't know. I mean, it was just a great game, and Indiana came out on top. And what are you going to say?
So let's just put it this way. I just looked up the last Heisman Trophy winners, excluding Travis Hunter and Devontae Smith. The last 4 quarterbacks to win the Heisman have all thrown for 40+ touchdowns.
Okay.
And Fernando Mendoza only threw for 33 and less than 3,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And that would put him, if he was in that class of that quarterback, that would have put him dead last in stat-wise. So like I said, this is the first year that it truly seems like it is the best player on the best team, which I thought
it was weird, Ben, that a lot of people made a big deal of the Heisman moment, right? Which was Mendoza's touchdown pass against Penn State, to clinch that win.
I think it was though.
But he also put him in the position by throwing an interception against maybe a team that Penn State fell apart, crumbled. It's weird that you can create your own Heisman, like you can manufacture your own Heisman moment by playing so poorly. That I just thought that was a little. Whatever.
I mean, I think more of his Heisman moment though was beating Ohio State because, like I told my dad, if he doesn't beat Ohio State, I don't think he wins the Heisman Trophy.
Probably not. At that point, it was probably whoever won. It was either going to be. Well, but we saw Pavia finish second anyway. So maybe once Sayin lost, maybe everybody just, okay, that's it. Let's not. Maybe next year he'll be ready. Listen, Julian Sayin had a great year. I don't think anyone from Ohio State, anyone, in or around Columbus or anyone that roots for the Buckeyes would be disappointed in his season.
And, like I told my dad, you got Julian Sayin coming back next year. You got Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
And you're adding Chris Henry Jr.
Yeah, you got Bo Jackson, the running backs will be there. Yeah.
You think about it, right? Like Jeremiah Smith is 6'4".
Yeah.
Chris Henry 6'5".
Yeah.
Like I told my dad, I said, if you want to throw a Hail Mary, hey, both you guys line up on this side, both you run down, one of you guys set a pick, the other one go up for the ball.
Seriously.
That's 2 NBA level size guys playing receiver. Like one of you guys set a pick,
the
other guy go up and get
enormous pitch radiuses, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be fun to watch. But let's get through this year first, including Ben. A lot of teams opting out of bowl games. That's okay. Whatever. Our team, right? Our Buckeyes are in the playoffs, so we get to watch that. So we will actually start Friday, this Friday, the 19th. There will be Oklahoma plays Alabama in the first round. So there's one game Friday night, and then Saturday.
Boomer.
Hey, there you go. You're an Oklahoma fan. Okay, fair enough.
I don't want Alabama to win.
I don't really have.
Like you said, they shouldn't be in anyways.
No, I don't think they should be in. I was just going to ask you, but let's get through the first round real quick. Texas A&M will host Miami on Saturday. That'll be at noon. That'll be on ESPN. On TNT, this is a weird lineup. True TV and HBO Max. Weird. Ole Miss will host number 11 Tulane at 3:30, and then Oregon will take on James Madison. Again, on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. So it's weird to see a couple of those games not be on ESPN, especially the night game. That's weird. But whatever. That's the first round of the playoffs. Those are those games are all Saturday, 12, 3:30, and 7:30. Texas A&M, Miami, Ole Miss, Tulane, and Oregon and James Madison, respectively there. So first of all, let's just get to the let's do that real quick. Oops. Let's get to the matchups first, because I don't know. A lot of people are I think have a bad taste, and Ben, we'll get him back in 1 second here, but I think a lot of people have a bad taste in their mouth watching Alabama get in with 3 losses when there's Notre Dame sitting right there, who literally has 2 losses on the season, all the way back at the beginning of the year to playoff teams. It felt like Notre Dame was the natural choice there, but I don't know, that Alabama mystique but Notre Dame has the mystique as well, so it's a tough. I don't know. It's a weird situation. I really feel like Notre Dame should have been in over Alabama. I don't know how you would change the seeding in that case. I guess Notre Dame, you put them in as the 9 seed. I really don't know. I'm just not sure how Alabama snuck in with 3 losses, to be honest with you, over a 2-loss Notre Dame team. We're going to get Ben back here really quickly. Hey, Ben, welcome back, buddy.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I was just saying that I'm not sure. I don't understand how Alabama snuck in past Notre Dame. I just don't really get when you've got Notre Dame with 2 losses, right? Both the playoff teams back in September. What was the did they not have a signature win? What was the flaw with their resume?
To be honest, after hearing what the guy who's in charge of the committee said, he basically said that it didn't matter until Alabama lost, because that put Notre Dame right next to Miami in the rankings, and then it goes down to head-to-head. So you're telling me that head-to-head does not matter until you're neck and neck in the rankings? So
how can that be?
So if Alabama would have won, you're telling me that Notre Dame probably gets in over Alabama, but since Alabama lost, Notre Dame is out?
This is like a Kevin Stefanski answer. Either way, the playoff committee has to be better. That's my Stefanski joke. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really get it. Either way, here we are. Alabama, OU, Friday night. Do you want to pick winners for these first round games? Who do you have? You want Oklahoma to win.
I want Oklahoma, but I think Alabama's going to win.
You think Alabama will win? Okay. Yeah, I don't think Oklahoma's quite dynamic enough on offense. I think Alabama just has a little bit more. They really struggled at the beginning of the season. I mean, losing to Florida State. Remember when we thought Florida State was a big problem?
Yeah, we thought Florida State was back, and then they just
completely. They were going 12-0, and then something happened. I don't know what happened. There was a disconnect there, but
I'll put it this way: if John Mateer can play like he did before his thumb injury, Oklahoma's got a shot to make a run.
Which is kind of a big ask. I mean, a thumb injury is tough for a quarterback, right?
If he plays like he did after his thumb injury, I think Oklahoma gets bounced in the first round.
Okay, let's go to Texas A&M Miami. How do you feel about that first round matchup? That's the early Saturday kickoff.
I think Texas A&M wins that one.
Texas A&M, okay.
I think.
I thought Miami looked better at the beginning of the season. I think they fell off a little bit as well, but I think you're right. I think Texas A&M probably does win that game. And then at 3:30, we've got Ole Miss taking on Tulane. I don't think there's too much mystery there. I think it's Ole Miss, right?
Nope, I got Tulane. I'm just kidding.
You got Tulane. The green wave.
No, I got Ole Miss.
I like Tulane's logo though. I like their helmets. I like their.
I do like Tulane's logo, but
yeah, it's pretty cool.
But I could see Ole Miss losing because you don't have Lane Kiffin anymore.
That's true. I mean,
you're gonna have a new play caller. You're gonna have a new coach in charge who has different views and might go for it sometimes on 4th down. And
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's a weird situation there.
If there is going to be an upset in the first round, I could see it being Tulane over Ole Miss.
Okay, fair enough. You think Oregon then takes care of business against James Madison?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay. Oregon's a team that despite being a Big Ten guy, I haven't really watched them play much this year.
Yeah.
They didn't play Ohio State, so they weren't on my radar really. I had trouble
They've
catching the late games this year.
they've survived some close games.
Yeah,
That's one thing though. They are battle tested. They had that close game against
yeah,
Indiana that they lost.
yeah. I
But
think Dan Lanning is probably a top 3 or 5 coach in the nation. Don't you? Don't you feel that way?
yeah, but I've also seen that his coaching tree already, even though he's 39, is super super impressive. He's got Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State. He's
Mhm.
got his new offensive coordinator just went to Kentucky. He's got another guy that's a coach somewhere else. Um, I just think he's one of those guys that he's an elite culture builder. Like he knows how to
Right
build a
on.
culture. He knows how to build a program, and I think just the guys that he surrounds himself with are the exact same. Like you look at what
Yeah,
Kenny Dillingham did at Arizona State in 2 years. I mean, he took him to the Big 12 championship and the playoffs. Like
right. And I think well, not people. I think Ohio State fans, not that they're not people, but I think Ohio State fans were a little annoyed with Dan Lanning after the first Oregon game, where he kind of took advantage of a loophole in the rules. And listen, you can't be mad at him for that. I mean, that's really good preparation. That's good knowledge. I mean, that's good coaching. Um, Obviously, when the NCAA decides to change the rule afterwards, that maybe it shouldn't have been that way, but it was, and you can't fault him for taking advantage of that. So I thought that was
and
brilliant, actually.
talk about them being battle tested too, right? You look at that Ohio State team last year, right? One score loss to Oregon,
Hmm.
one score loss to Michigan, and
Hmm.
then they went on to absolutely blow everybody out in the playoffs.
Yep.
And it's like, if there's a team that scares me more than Indiana, it's Oregon because
Yeah.
not only did they suffer an embarrassing loss last year to us, but this year they've had some heartbreaking losses,
Yeah. They could have a
and
chip on their shoulders for sure.
they have a great team.
Yep.
Either way, like they just had the chips didn't fall their way this year.
Happens. It happens. Most fans understand that. Some teams fans don't seem to understand that. So let's go on to the second round matchup because if you have Alabama moving on against Oklahoma, they'll play Indiana in the second round, and then Oregon presumably would move on against James Madison. They'll play Texas Tech. Whoever wins that Texas A&M Miami game, which we think it'll be Texas A&M, that's an Ohio State Texas A&M matchup, which that's intriguing to me. I think that could be that could be a really fun game to watch. Ohio State and Texas A&M.
I will put it this way: if Ohio State's offensive line plays the same way they did against Indiana,
Uh-huh.
there's no shot they get out of the second round
That's
because
fair. Yeah.
Indiana was way tougher than them, way more physical,
Yeah.
and that's been the thing that has hurt
Indiana played with
Miami.
purpose. It seemed like Ohio State went out and played not to lose, and Indiana played with purpose.
They did.
I thought was the
And
difference.
that's what's hurt Ryan Day over the years in
Mhm.
Columbus is, we don't always have the most physical team. We just expect to beat you with talent. And then
Yeah,
when a
and it's
team
almost like
punches
the visual, like the optic of playing not to lose
Yeah.
has been like the issue.
and then when that team punches you in the mouth, you're like, what just happened?
Yeah, right, right. So if Ole Miss beats Tulane, which, like you said, if there's an upset in the first round, that could be it, right? I don't consider Alabama over Oklahoma 9 over 8. I don't consider that an upset.
No.
But yeah, I mean, let's say Tulane moves on, whoever moves on from that game is going to play Georgia. Georgia fans seem to think that everyone outside of Athens is really afraid of Georgia. I don't know that that's the case. I don't think Georgia's quite at the level they were a couple years ago, but Kirby Smart is still there, still top 2 coach in the nation. Multiple national titles. I think you have to give that to him. So yeah, I mean, I think Georgia scares you a little bit because of Kirby Smart, but I don't think there's anything necessarily there that's so overwhelming that you got really blurry on me, buddy. You okay?
I don't know what happened. My camera just stopped focusing.
It's weird. Hi, Jim. Bring you back. Nope, that didn't work. Well, listen. We hope that Ohio State comes out a little more focused on Texas A&M or Miami than Ben's camera is on him. I think that's safe to say. But yeah, that matchup will be December 31st. So, do you think there's anything? And we're almost at the point where we could jump out of here just about an hour. But before we go, Ben. Oh, there you are. Hi, we see you, Ben. Do you think having a bye is going to be different for the Buckeyes this year? Do you think does that worry you a little bit? Them having a couple of weeks without football?
It does,
Yeah.
but it doesn't worry me as much as it does these other teams because all these teams know, like, look, we're probably going to play this team,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously they're preparing for both teams, right? But
Yeah.
if you give Matt Patricia 3 weeks to prepare for Texas A&M on
Yeah.
defense, they're going to hopefully pick them apart.
Yeah, you would think so. It's not like Indiana lit it up offensively.
No,
I mean, they did enough to win. They
like
did enough to get by.
you said, it's not like Ohio State's defense didn't do well. I mean, the Ohio State defense played good. Your kicker just missed a 27-yard field goal that I could have rolled out of bed and made.
I could not
Like,
have. You with the soccer background, I'm sure you would have been fine. Listen, I'm going to tell I would not have made it. I wouldn't have made that kick in my prime. There's no chance.
I will say this. I've kind of turned heads on Ryan Day. I've started to like him more.
Okay.
But you have a kicker from Ball State that went 11 of 13 on field goals last year
Mm-hmm.
and hit a 55-yard game-winning field goal. And your starting kicker can't make a 49-yard field goal. What are we doing?
I'm not sure. Ryan Day seems to struggle with the whole kicker thing. I don't know what that is.
Well, then why go out and sign a guy from Ball State?
I don't know. Every coach has their thing. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Every coach has their thing, right? Like John Cooper couldn't beat Michigan, right? Tressel couldn't really beat some of those SEC teams. He beat Miami. That was awesome. But the SEC kind of
they're ACC though.
Yeah, I'm saying he beat Miami, but he couldn't beat the SEC, right?
Oh, yeah.
He couldn't beat LSU. He couldn't beat Florida. So those teams kind of stymied him a little bit. I mean, they really got blown out by Florida. Urban Meyer couldn't beat some of the lower level teams in the Big Ten when he got blown out by Purdue, blown out by Iowa that one year. It was really strange. Lost that really weird rainy game to Michigan State. Urban Meyer lost a lot of games he wasn't supposed to lose, right? Ryan Day's Achilles heel a little bit has been Michigan. Obviously got over that this year with a 27-9 win. But Ryan Day's biggest thing, like when you look back over Ryan Day's career, you're like, man, he never really had a great kicker. You know what I mean? Like, at least up to this point. There have been some special teams issues. So I don't know. That was never a thing with Jim Tressel. Jim Tressel had special teams buttoned down at the vest, right?
And I mean, really, if you think about Urban Meyer,
by the way,
if you think about Urban Meyer, we never had a kicker, who could kick it from 50 yards, but he could make a 45-yarder.
Yeah,
our kicker can't even make. Dude, his long on the year was a 38-yarder.
Yeah, it seems weird. I don't know. I mean, obviously, but he's in a position where he's getting death threats on social media. I don't think that's necessary.
No, I don't think it's necessary. But like I told my dad, right? This Ball State kicker last year was 11 of 13 from on field goals. His 2 misses were from 52 yards or more.
Yeah.
And he hit a 55-yard game-winning field goal. And that dude is sitting on the bench.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's tough to make a choice like that because now that's an immense amount of pressure to put on a new kid who hasn't been in there. Like you're the kicker now for the playoffs.
I don't care. Don't mess it up. You just missed a 27-yarder. His ass should be on the bench. Excuse my language.
Yeah. But you said bench. You can't say bench on the show. What are you doing?
I
don't know. I don't disagree with you. I mean, whatever. I think
football. You're gonna need a kicker at some point. Ohio State needed a kicker against Indiana, and it's like that. It's like that. If you ever seen the movie,
and people say, "Well, it's just simple. Don't put it in the hands of the kicker." But sometimes you have to. Right?
It's like the movie Facing the Giants. If you ever seen it, my mama can kick the ball wide right and wide left, but the ball's got to go through the middle.
That's it.
And then the kicker says, "I know, coach," and he's like, "Well, no, you don't." He's like, "Because you're missing wide left and wide right."
Apparently, you don't know. Well, that's where Jaden Fielding. Well, I said Jaden. That's not where he should be. That's where Jaden Fielding is. I mean, whatever. Everybody reacts differently, I guess, to those clutch situations. Some guys, the game slows down. Some guys, it speeds up for them. The heart rate speeds up and things get wonky, man. The legs, you got spaghetti legs all of a sudden. Hey, everybody reacts to those situations differently. So hopefully in the playoffs, he can find his piece. I don't see them making a change at the kicker position, but maybe they do. We never know. One position I don't see them making a change at either is I thought maybe we would see some Tegra Shabola a little bit more or see him out. I don't know. I'm not sure.
He's out for the Cotton Bowl.
That's what he's not going to be playing. I just don't see them. I don't know. I thought we would see that change during the regular season when the offensive line was struggling back, halfway through. Then they kind of seemed to lock it in a little bit. They did better.
And then he got absolutely abused against Indiana. I will give Ryan Day props for benching him at halftime because he got absolutely abused in that first half. And then you come out at halftime and Ryan Day makes a switch and you're like, okay, Ryan Day hasn't done this before. Last year he was forced to play Luke Montgomery because of an injury to your left guard.
Right.
And he wouldn't have if his left guard didn't get hurt.
Right. Yeah.
So If
Yeah, he made a decision there. You had to do something. Like you said, the offensive line wasn't very good against Indiana, and that's been their weakness at times this year, right? Like the inability to run block, really, which you would think would be easier as an offensive line, but they
and
haven't really been able to move anybody off the line and create a lot of room for the running backs. So
going back to what we said earlier is I think that's why it could open up to some, some quarterback zone reads and some read options because the run blocking has been bad. Give Julian Sayin the option, or even just those RPOs. Give him the option. Look, the throw's not there. I'm just gonna hand the ball off.
yeah,
Or
instead of running between the tackles, let him get outside. Let him create a little bit. I agree. I also think that you look at Julian Sayin's size, and I don't think Ryan Day wants him to get hit too often. So
no, but at the same time, though, he's athletic.
Think about the hit that Justin Fields took against Clemson. Julian Sayin doesn't come back into the game from that.
No, but at the same time, though, I think Julian Sayin has proven that he's tougher than what people give him credit for.
For sure, yeah.
And it's one of those things too, where if you had Will Howard, you're probably running the ball a little more. But I just don't understand, whether it's Ryan Day or whether it's the quarterbacks. If you have a quarterback that is mobile, right? No team is worried about him running the football if he hasn't done it all year, right?
Yeah.
If you flash it at least once or twice, teams in the back of their mind, teams have to prepare for it because they're saying, hey, this guy could run the ball.
Yeah, I mean, we saw what it did against Georgia when C.J. Stroud came out. Yeah, I mean, it made a huge difference.
They hadn't done it all year with C.J. Stroud, and then you get to Georgia with the best defense in the country at that point, and C.J. Stroud is running all over him, and Georgia's like, what just happened?
Absolutely.
I think if you have a rematch against Indiana, if you get that far, I think you could see some run plays from Julian Sayin, and Indiana would be like, wait, where did that come from?
Right. Well, they're going to have to beat Miami or Texas A&M first on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to starting to watch the first round of the playoffs on Friday. You talked about Aaron Rodgers. Real quick, did you want to – I know you said Aaron Rodgers has had a couple of pretty historical games for the Steelers, right?
If you look at his last two stats, he's had two of his best games since, his last MVP season. And like I've said, if Rodgers is playing this way, I get I'm saying this, but if Rodgers is playing this way, it's going to be hard to beat us because he's not turning the ball over. He's taking what dude was 23 of 27 last night for 224 yards and 2 touchdowns. If you're not turning the ball over, it's hard to beat a team.
Well, we know how bad the Dolphins are when it's under 40, though.
We do.
They're historically bad. So,
but he just did it against the Ravens a week earlier, though.
Yeah, you're right. Right.
So I don't know. It's just, but then he's also had games like the Bills game where he threw for 110 yards, and you're like.
But I feel like everybody's had games like that this year. The NFL has been weird passing wise. I mean, everybody's had one of those clunkers.
Yeah.
Makes the MVP race really kind of fun to try to figure
Lamar
out.
Jackson against the Bengals. He was 8 of 12.
Yeah.
For 115 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, and you're like.
Right. It's like a high school stat line, It's really weird.
He attempted 12 passes?
Right.
It was like him at Louisville. He'd attempt 12 passes for, he'd get 230 yards, but he'd have 140 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was absolutely.
He was a video game in college.
He was a monster. It was fun to watch. He's been fun to watch in the NFL, and I hope we've been fun to watch for you. We're going to get out of here. We're going to try to be more regular. I think we're going to try to go Tuesday, right? We're going to try to go Tuesday noonish, Tuesday 11:30 or so. We'll try to go live every Tuesday. So we're back. The sports show with no name, the sports show with no schedule for a while. But
before we leave, want to give a shout out to Brunswick basketball. They got Hoban tonight. Go Blue Devils.
Go Blue Devils. There you go.
Big game this Friday, too. If you can make it. Brunswick Strongsville.
Yes. Coach Carter, Mr. Kobe, if you're watching, I'm going to download the app. I got my phone right here. I'm going to download the app as soon as we get off of here.
Yep.
I'm going to do that. Hopefully that'll work. I wasn't able to find it before the show.
Coming up.
Yeah. So let's do it.
Maybe
I'll be there Friday night, Ben. I'm not sure. I'm going to try to make it for the Strongsville game next Friday.
Have you?
I can be there for that.
Big one. So.
All right, man. All right. Sounds good. Well, hey, listen, like I said, we appreciate you guys watching. Catch us next Tuesday, right? We'll be here next Tuesday about 11:30 or so, 11:30 noon, whatever, around that time. No technical difficulties today. That's really weird, Ben. That's really, really weird. I don't even feel the need to knock on wood because we're going to get out of here.
I can't.
Get out of here. All right, it's time for us to go. Ben's faking technical difficulties. I'm gone. We will see you guys next Tuesday. Enjoy your week of whatever sports are remaining. Enjoy some bowl games. Enjoy some playoff football.
Playoffs?
Playoffs? You're talking about the playoffs?
Yeah.